on the split wheels, and we have the chrome on the side grills and the pillar. So it's kind of carries out, but your car might look different and you want to go a different direction. Hi, welcome back to CarsAddiction.com. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ryan and we share car related content every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is a short snippet of any car encounter I come across, and Sunday is a full video on a project I'm doing, one of my cars or anything else car related. Now this week we're talking about my BMW Z3 and what modifications I've done on it. Now before we get into the Z3, quickly what we have here is the 1976 Datsun 260Z, which is being prepared for paint, and we have sitting nice and cozy in the garage together with the Z3, our Nissan Skyline GTR. If you like any of these cars, make sure you go to watch this series on them. They're always progressing. Some week it's the Z3, some week it's the Datsun, and so forth. I'll provide all the links in the description below. So back to the BMW Z3. What we have here is a 1999 BMW Z3 2.0 version. Now this is modified. Previously when we got this car, it was bone stock. We had the 16-inch wheels, the very basic 16-inch wheels with the amber headlights and rear tail lights. The interior was very ugly. We had the wooden interior and these ugly plate seats, and we had no extras at all. The only extras this car had was the power roof. Now let's go through all the modifications done to this car. Let's start with the exterior and what I've done to this car. Let's start with the front. Now I had amber indicators, which I've done is upgraded to the clear ones. Now these units can be costly, so what you can do to save some money is get damaged units and refurbish them. I've gotten the ones that have burnt lights in them, and these used to be yellowish. I've managed to remove the yellowishness by sandpapering it down and giving a nice fresh clear coat, and they look like brand new. That doesn't bug me so much, so it's going to stay as is. Another option which you can do is keep your existing headlights and see if you can find this 3D printed or anything like that in this color. I think it's possible with today's technology where you can remove the housing of the headlight, break it all apart, and just replace that thing. So our car already came with these clear side indicators here and the sides over there, so that's something we did not touch. What we did do as well is remove the front license plate. That is something that's low cost, and yes, it's going to leave a hole over there, but it's not actually that evident far away. Now if you are in a place which requires you to have front license plates, what I recommend is actually mounting it with double-sided tape on the side over here. This is what we do, so at least you have one photogenic side where you take photos from. The front license plate is quite large and takes a bit of the aesthetics of the front of the car. Another thing you can actually upgrade is the grille. Now the grille is actually two parts, 1, 2. It's quite easily accessible from the back to remove. What you can do is either have it chrome, piano black, matte black, carbon. Some aftermarket vendors have this more thick. The same thing goes with these inner fins, sort of to speak. You can have it with fins or maybe a mesh, which is in chrome or black. I'll provide a link in the description below where you can get actually a percentage off if you go for the mesh look. Now we opted to leave everything OEM because our look is sort of red with a touch of black and chrome. So the OEM look is perfect for us. But if you go have another color car, maybe you want to go with a different look. As well, another thing you can actually modify is having mesh down here as well, but we kept it OEM. So next are the wheels. What we went for is 17-inch wheels. The maximum size by BMW Z3 standards is 17-inch. You can technically go for an 18-inch, but we just kept it 17-inch because I think 18-inch is a bit too big for the lines of the Z3. Now the stub pattern for the wheels are 5x120. The offsets are different from the back and front and differ from 1.9 version and the 3.2 version, and I think there are some differences in between years. So you need to do your research on what to get. I went with the ones that are actually provided by BMW 17-inch style 71 wheels. The original split wheels, they're not fake rivets, they're actually real. And what I've just done is sprayed these centers in Plasti Dip. They've been on the car for 4 years, and when I want, I could just peel this off. They've been power washed in the rain, in the heat, and they still look great without any flaking. Now the difference with our setup is that the rear is a bit staggered, as you can see. Now what we did is actually bought 2 sets. The rears are from a BMW E39 with an offset of 20. And the fronts are actually for a BMW Z3. So we actually have 8 wheels that are the same in the garage, but we just took 2 of each set. Now the Z3 set actually fits in the back flush as so, but the thing is it doesn't have an offset, so you don't have that dish. And we prefer actually having an offset staggered look, sort of to speak, having a dish wider at the back. And that's the setup there. The chrome setup you still here is actually an extra the car came with and we left. That includes those 3 trim pieces, the trunk, door handle and pillar. Another thing we went for is the side grills. These are original Z3M grills on a non-Z3 car, and they are actually fake. The original ones look like this. They're both nice. Actually, the original ones do have some, function to them. They're not completely closed off. And it's quite easy. There's only those 5 tabs and a screw that's keeping them in. So all you have to do is actually lift the hood up and unclip them from the back, and they replace easily. I'm not saying which one does look better, if it's that one or that one. It's just we have them both available, so we went with this one for now, and then maybe we'll switch over later. Another grill that you might want to go for is the one from the Aerospec, but those are a bit rare to find. And there are ones which are all chrome. Again, it depends what color and what taste you have, but I'm just showing you all the options. Another thing we did with the car is ride height. The car is on E-box springs, which lowers the car about 4 centimeters. Now we had an issue where the rear actually squatted more than the front. But it's not going to be shown on this video, but what we had done is actually installed a thicker pad in the rear to bring it a bit higher, so we have an even gap all around. Now the springs actually make the ride quality better. It goes into corners much more crispier and it handles like a dream. So that is like a sort of recommended mechanical upgrade, let's say that you guys can go for. Another thing is the Z3M mirrors. We have bought them, we still have to spray them and fit in place. They're actually a direct fit. The mounting points are the same. As you can see, the only difference is it's more curvier and that's more sort of squarish in look. Let's get into the rear. So what we have done here is to complement the front headlights, we went with the clear tail lights. Fortunately, there's no shortcuts on that. You actually have to find a pair of these, which are going to be rare. There's 2 sets of taillights, one for facelift and pre-facelift, so you have to make sure you buy the ones that are for your car. Obviously, these are the facelift taillights. I also debadged the whole emblems I had, the Z3 and the 2.0 liter. I just wanted a cleaner look. And what I've done down here is have this sort of diffuser shape painted in the same color as the center of the wheels to give a sort of more definition to the rear bumper, and I think it came out looking great. It should have actually been factory. Now the color I went with is gray because I think black would have been too much of a contrast on red. Again, this is specific to your car. And let's get into the interior. Now the interior initially started life with an all wood dashboard with just an analog clock. We did not have any extras at all except for the power roof. As you can see, we have equipped this car with heated seats and air condition, an OBD trip computer, some extra gauges. Obviously, this car has been fully equipped. So what have we done? Let's start with the seats. Now, the seats were actually beige seats and we upgraded them to the sports seats. If you haven't done so, that is the first upgrade I actually recommend. It's a night and day difference. These seats are really comfortable. And the upgrade to heated seats is quite simple. The harness is already passed, so all you have to do is just plug in the new seats in and buy the heated switch where the harness is already there, so you just have to plug it in. And there, automatically you get more comfortable seats and heated function to your car. Another thing we actually upgraded with the seats is make sure we got matching door cards, because this part over here matches the pattern that is on the seats. So make sure that you have continuity on those two parts. So while we're here at the door thing, something that we have to do is this M side still. We didn't get to yet. So basically, to complement the M steering wheel, the M badging on the side grille, we're going to install this side sill in M, just to complement everything. Now, some of them have the word Roadster on them, but I just opted for some simple M. Now, the center console we've upgraded from a normal Z3, which we had the switches located up here instead of these gauges. Went for ones from a Z3M. So that requires you to change the backing of this and this accordingly. So that is actually a fit straight away. There's no special brackets to be made. Obviously, what we've done in the process is put a battery meter and an oil temperature. And originally this is an analog clock with a red needle. We opted for the OBD digital one. And again, the harness is already there, it's plug and play. All you actually require with this upgrade is having the stock in with the computer as well, which is BC there. And with that, and you also need the temperature unit into the bumper. Again, the wires are there, you just need to plug them in and they're there. Now, this is not a Z3M thing, so I had to make it work, but it's working perfectly. These gauges are from VDO. The original manufacturers for the Z3M gauges. I didn't go for the original ones from the catalog, it's just I couldn't find them, and these are the closest match I can find. And they just look great, and they complement the chrome surroundings I have here as well. Now, radio is aftermarket. If you want to go with an aftermarket radio, I do recommend not going with something that is very long or something that takes CDs. This is literally just a Bluetooth radio, and it's very thin. You don't have that much space to play around with in the back, so the less profile of a radio you have, the better. We also upgraded the sides into red, just playing around. These were the ones originally in place, and these are the plastic ones. And the way you notice plastic from leather is because the leather ones have stitching right over here. So the console we got, I think it was actually in blue, and we had to paint it anyways. Now, paint does scratch by time, and this is a highly scratchable area. So what we did here is vinyl. This is a brushed aluminum vinyl. Not sure if it's getting caught by the camera. And this way it's not scratchable. So we did place vinyl here in these two parts. We went ahead to continue the look on the steering wheel. And on the door cards, there's that line, which comes out easily if you just drill through the plastic rivets and then install it back with self-tapping screws. It's a nice touch. And while we're at it, we did vinyl in the same texture at the back of the seats, which is evident when the hardtop is out. Another thing we have done is a gear knob from a E46, and we did it with perforated leather. It's a nice touch. That fits straight away from any BMW from the same era. So if you like a certain gear knob, that will fit straight in. And least but not last is the air condition. Yes, this car was not equipped with an air condition, and now it is, and it's perfectly functional. So if you can retrofit a air condition into a non-AC Z3, yes, it's possible, but it's not recommended. There's lots of work to be done. It's consuming and nerve-wracking as well. So in short, what you need is actually the switch, the condenser, the piping that comes from the condenser to the heater core, which you have to upgrade to a AC heater matrix. Those are the parts you require, and believe it or not, the wiring harness is prepared already for an air condition, so it's plug and play. So there's no wiring to be done. The reason I am against doing it is because there was a lot of work to be done. So obviously you need to take the center console out. Doing so, you need to take the seats, you need to take off the steering wheel, you need to take out the whole dashboard, all that just to get access to the center heater core, which then can be removed. Obviously, once that is removed, you put in the new air conditioned heater core. You just replace the two valves that the new piping will connect to, and just reroute everything into pre-cut out holes, and you have air conditioning. Again, the work took me about, I'm guessing, 4 weekends, and I literally needed the car dismantled inside while I was working, so that takes a lot of garage space as well. Something which you can also upgrade is, I got the sun visors in red. There was like a package of this to install them there. I'm still not sure, so that's why they're still out. So the last thing for the interior would be this rear centerpiece in the back. So what we did, I actually had it all standard. There was a storage area over here, storage area over here, and no roll hoops. So what we did is actually, we wanted roll hoops. They look nice actually in the car, so we purchased them, the set. So that's 1, 2. When you purchase the set, you have to make sure you purchase this top part over here because it's a bit different from the non-hooped car. We also, and at the meantime, while we were doing all the upgrades, went with a Harman Kardon system. That includes this subwoofer that's positioned here, the amplifier in the boot, and the 2 tweeters in the door. Now, this is the only part which has the wiring harness needs to be passed. So the wiring harness has to be passed from the amplifier to the subwoofer, underneath all here into the radio area. So that's the only actual wiring we had to do. Now, obviously we lost our storage capabilities, but we do have a Harman Kardon system in this car now. And the only thing that's not standard is badging right over here. And while we're at it, what we've done is USBs and auxiliary inputs into the radio for, to keep it modernized as well. This area is actually always blank. I never found out why it's always blank, but it's always blank. And the other switch we have here is the rear demister for the roof. And I think that's it for modifications. Like I said, most of them have been done into the interior. What I haven't mentioned is, while I had everything out, I went for color-coded seatbelts. That's not a stock item, they always came in black. You can go into options, you can actually send out your original Z3 seatbelts to a manufacturer that specializes in seatbelts to get them redone in different stitching or colors, or you can get them off a different car, which I went and have them customized bracket to fit into the holder at the back. Now let's talk about the roof. There are various types of roofs you can go for. This is the OEM roof. So the OEM actually has cloth on the top and is glass at the rear with the mister lines. It mounts into this pillar. So it mounts through this hole over here. So that is actually on all BMW Z3s. The mounting points which you are interested in getting with the hard top is the ones that are located here. Now, obviously, if you're going to be driving to pick up your hardtop, you would want to do the installation there and then. It's all possible. You might need to remove the seats. Make sure you actually have the mounting kit, because to find one on its own, it's a bit hard. And I think it does transform completely the car. Thanks for watching. I hope I gave you an idea of what you can actually modify on your BMW Z3. I know I talked a lot about aesthetics, not mechanical. It's just I keep my car as basic as can be. I'd love to hear what you've done to your BMW Z3 in the comments below, and tell me, any questions you might have on my modifications and how I can help you guys out. Thanks for watching. Take care.